before we get started on our order ship outs, because like I said, we got ship out dates on Saturday. We can knock out all these orders in no time at all. It's really fast ship out date. We just want to get this one out of the way, and we got some other ones that have to be done today also too. Keep in mind, we're going to be doing first things first. Let me announce who I am. My name is Kenneth Bird. My company is Crystal Edge Technology Screens. We're going to be doing some demonstrations, probably starting off Saturday and all next week on doing demonstrations for outside projection screen setups. As the weather gets warmer, we're going to be doing more and more demonstrations on that level, showing you that the best way to go when you're doing a projection screen setup for outside, whether this be for your business, whether this be for your home, to use black screens. Now, even though we develop a gray screen paint, we develop different color screen paints, we do strongly advise that you use a black screen outside because they're designed to absorb in a much more light than our other traditional screens. Even though our gray screens do pull up better contrast levels, better colors, and equal white levels than other gray screens, we do advise you to use the black screens outside because they are best used for outside use. Now, we're doing a lot of demonstrations down the road with inflatable screens, and we're going to be showing you these demonstrations against gray screen products, including the traditional white screen products. All right, so that way, because we have some individuals that may mislead you on trying to tell you that you can use a gray screen paint outside, and that's not true, which we're going to show you in the next couple of weeks with gray screens and white screens when we start campaigning, start doing demonstrations for outside projection screen setups. All right. First things first, now in this demonstration, I said before, if you're going to compare yourself to any of our screens, and one of the things, especially with signatures are 17s. They are designed to take in a ton of ambient light because these are black screens. Another reason why I told you black screens are fantastic for that, because they can take in a ton of ambient light. The other technologies designed do take in a lot of light, but the black screens are designed to take in even more. I'm going to be showing you this demonstration. We're in a fully lit environment. For some reason, my overhead light's not on, so I think I might have blown that. So I got to go downstairs, get me a chair, come back upstairs, and fix the overhead light because that's not out. That's out right now. So I'm going to get me a bulb from somewhere. Oh, yeah, I know I got a bulb. That right there. Now we're going to be doing, like I said, in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be doing a lot of pre-recordings because we have to change out the videos on the website. Some are going to be live, some are going to be pre-recorded. So we can get ready for that, get that done. So let me see what's going on up here and why we don't have the light working. I'm going to put this in my pocket first. My bulb room. How many lamps they had up in here to begin with? Light bulbs. Oh, they had two of them up there. Okay. I guess both of these might be dead. I don't know how, but they are. Sorry about that. I like to have all my lights on when I'm working, and like I said, one of the bulbs had blue. Yeah, what's the bulb? Definitely blue. All right. I'm gonna grab me another one. Let's see. What do these? Well, I don't know really that much anyway to begin with. Okay, that's nice. That definitely works. All right, sorry about that. I kind of like to have my lights on when I do my demonstration, especially these right here. That involve a lot of window light, and my overhead lights blew out, I guess, last night. So I had to go put new lights in for that. Now we do these demonstrations basically to document when we have people who basically feel the need to challenge our technology or to say that or do unfair reviews on our products and to try to make our product seem that it's something that it's not, which I don't get that part because, like I said, we do tons and tons and tons of test demonstrations that nobody else will try because their screens can't handle the testing that our screens go through. And they still try to pull out these fake phony demonstrations. Where's my stand at? Because where stands right here. Wow, the whole entire time. That shows I'm just waking up. All right, so as I like to start off with, we're going to start off with our color white first. And we got our windows open. This is usually when I get up in the morning. First thing I like to do is I like to open up my windows. I like to let a lot of light come in. It's going to be sad when the summertime gets here because I got to put an air conditioner right there. And that's going to block some of my window lights. So I'm kind of bummed out about that. But I need air conditioning here because I'll get cooked. But anyway, as you can see how much light we have in the environment. So, as I said before, I tested my screen against Elite's. Has an all-white screen. I forgot what it's called, acoustic screen. And Vivistorm has an acoustic screen that we tested against our product side by side. As a matter of fact, I should be doing those two before I get started. also, too, we're going to advise you that when we start doing the paint on inflatable screens. Okay, first things first, before talking about the paint on inflatable screens. Now, we test our screens. This is an acoustic screen. Any screen that has micro holes in it is acoustic, which means we have to test it against just about anything that is acoustic. The reason why his screen's being tested there, because like I said, you know, he's made that false claim multiple times about black screens being so dark you can't see them. And because he made that statement, that's the reason why we're going to start incorporating you into the test demonstrations when we start going outside and showing off different screens, or screens that are designed for outdoor use. But your theory is that you're trying to push across is that we can pull contrast levels, but we can't pull colors and white levels, much like a lighter screen, which I was able to display on our ultralight technology, that even with our gray technology, we can produce the high bright colors, but we can produce contrast when your screen can't produce contrast. Also, too, can't produce proper color either. So we kind of proved that yesterday. With the darker screens, we're able to prove that screens can produce white levels and also to produce contrast levels and colors, which your screen can't. This right here is another screen we had to test against. This is another acoustic screen by Elite. We'll put that one right there on the corner. Now, as you can see, we are displaying the color red, as I like to do. I like to display the colors, the reds and blues and greens, because that's what you should be seeing first. First things first, let's put it onto white. White screen. Now, I did this demonstration yesterday. I want to do the demonstration. We have light coming in, so I can show you where ambient light projection technology is very, very important. Some say it isn't, it's not necessary, it's not needed. It is needed. All right, so here we are with lights on. This tells me right here, but sorry, the white levels. This tells me exactly what I'm getting into and how these screens are going to react. Color blue.
Getting that from YouTube.
And this is to tell whether or not your screen's colors are going to fade or wash out when you're in a fully lit environment with plenty of window light pushing in. How is your screen going to react to that? Oops, that fell off altogether. See, sorry about that. That kind of fell off. So let's see if I can get that pressed on there a little bit better. There we go. Hopefully they stay on. Because one of the things people want is when they're using ultra short throws, they want to be able to use it in a fully lit environment, and they don't want to be worrying about the screen washing out or fading or any of that nonsense, or having to calibrate your projector. Usually most people have to calibrate projectors when colors start to fade on the screen. Let's see what colors we're going to go through real quick on this. Let's go through the color red as we did when we first started off. Let's go over to the color green. And as I told you before, against the Signature 17 fully lit environment, we got plenty of light coming through the windows. We have a Vivid Storm acoustic. We have a Elite acoustic. We have another Vivid Storm acoustic. And then we have Crow's Personal Mix and Metallica Mix right there. Just to show you that, no. It's nowhere near, doesn't have the ability to be able to reflect any kind of real ambient light. And as I said before, we don't dodge in here when it comes to using ambient light projection. There we are, nice and bright. Plenty of light. Nice and bright, plenty of light. I like that. All right. Okay, let's go from here. Let's pull up, let me see what other colors we got. Let's go for, I want to get a color changer. That's what I want. The color red.
Getting that from YouTube.
Usually in the color red, they always give me the color changer. There we go. That's what I want, the color changer. And there's the color changer. And this is something, like I said, that is avoided at all costs due to the fact that they will not show you how the screen is going to perceive color. And this is something you should see. How is your screen going to be affected in a fully lit environment? If you have all your lights on. "4K snow demonstrations."
Getting that from YouTube.
Now, I like to do this because, as I said before, which was mentioned by this fellow, that black screens can pull the contrast levels, as he was trying to campaign, as they can pull contrast levels, but they can't pull up images. It'll just come up too dark. You can't see them. And like I said, it's interesting that the fact that the lighter screens can't pull, they can pull white levels, yes. They can't pull color, and they can't pull contrast. One of the other things they have a problem with is the fact that they do very poorly in well ambient light environments. Now, like I said, our color levels may be a tad low when it comes to going against a screen that's going to be much brighter than our screen, but we can still maintain our white levels where the image is not going to be so dark you can't see it. That we can do. Now, like I said, if you wanted to talk about brighter levels, we have an ultralight gray and we have a black silver. A black silver and ultralight grays are designed to pull high white levels, but even with the ultralight grays, they can pull a contrast level that gray screen paints can't do. And they pull better, like I said, then they pull better colors. Now, in order for our screen to pull a white level, see how the red's coming up on the Ridge commercial? It's not showing up here. That's because the screen can't display that white level. We can display that color level. And there we are showing a nice snowy ride on a train. If our image was so dark, you would not be able to see the utility poles or the tracks or any of that you're seeing right there on the screen whatsoever. You wouldn't see that at all if the white level wasn't there. That's why I warn certain individuals, you got to be really careful when you do misleading demonstrations like that. Now, any screen that can't pull contrast can't pull color. I'll explain that to you right from the door. Let's keep going through. And there's our screen displaying its white levels. As you can see, if the image was too dark, you wouldn't be able to see the imprints in the snow. You wouldn't be able to see the snow wolf here. That you would not be able to see. You can even see the casting of his shadow right here on the snow. And you can see the nice little snow ruffle right there perfectly. It's not dark as it was displayed in the other video done by Crow. And this is showing you how his product reacts in a fully lit environment. We're doing white levels on our black screen. Here's a wolf right there. So as you mentioned, how you displayed in your video was very dark and very black, couldn't barely see it. This is nothing but a blinding white level. Now, let's go to our, it's the next one we're going to do really quick, because I got to get to work real quick. Let's do Sony 4K demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
All right, we'll pull up some colors. As I said, this background is supposed to be jet black. This is the color red being displayed. As you can see, its product doesn't pick it up. If I take out my overhead light and just leave in my window light, give you a chance here, and the other screen's a chance, you still can't see the colors. And this is with window light coming in and making contact with the screen. And that's how your screen levels up. Or you try to do a comparison where your technology is better, this is where it levels up. You try to have to say it levels up equally to our technology. It doesn't level up. Neither do the other screens. They don't have the ability to be able to produce that color. Now when I do my demonstrations, I'm very fair. As you can see, I don't know what kind of review that was. That was actually a false review, mixing products with black paint, trying to portray them as being art products, choosing and selecting certain video demonstrations to try to make your product look good and to make others look bad. That's not very professional. You don't do things on that level. And this demonstration, I show my white levels next to your screen and other screens. I show different color levels as I should, different blues and greens and reds of solid colors. And then I also show at the end some mixed colors in between just so you can see the difference. And then after that, I show contrast and demonstration's over. So we will start beginning our demonstrations, like I said before, for outside for the black screen paint. LG snowboarding demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
As you can see, we cover everything. And again, as I said, I'm not seeing that black murky image that was displayed in that video because, like I said, the murky image that you displayed was everyday black house paint. Now we have several certified screens. We have an acoustic Elite screen, we have an acoustic Vivistorm, and we have another acoustic Vivistorm there. So now you did that fake review. We're going to start using your fake review as a launch campaign for our technology, saying, hey, look, as others, as a particular individual, we will mention your name because it is your video, have tried to paint the picture that our screens are so dark you can't see them, you can see where they lie. That's how threatened you are of our technology. Now, as I said before, not only do I put your product up here, but I have Elite screens, acoustic, white, not gray, not light gray. That's a white screen versus our signature 17. Vivistorm, acoustic, white, Vivistorm, acoustic, gray. And then here's your product, and there's your product. Let's go with let's go with this right here.
It's Friday. Have a great day pretending to do work.
You can notice I'm going for all the nice bright colors. We did this last night. Now we're doing it fully lit environment. Now this is the part you don't understand. You think because your image is going side by side with our black screens. No. This demonstration displays that our black screen can pull an image that's bright enough to be able to go side by side with the white screen and your screen, which was supposed to portray our image as coming out so dark you can't see it. But yet if I put on color patterns, you can't see color. If I put on contrast, you can't see color. These are the particular demonstrations that they use. We call these masking or camouflage colors. This is why they don't do the solid blues and greens and reds. But this is to show you how bright our white levels are on our signatures. And keep in mind, now it's on record that my gray screen paint, my light gray screen paint, can blend into your screen and pull a contrast and color your screen can't see. My light gray screen paint is better than your screen paint. You didn't see that one coming, did you? Let's go over to color red.
Getting that from YouTube.
See? You can't see color. You do that camouflage display. Usually you do a camouflage display like that to camouflage the colors. So you can't tell what's what. This is the reason why we do the solid colors first. So you can see exactly what the projector sees. Let's take out all the camouflage. Let's put a solid red color, a solid red, blue, green. So you can see exactly what the projector's seeing when it sees red. Not camouflage colors in between, straight solid colors. That's what you're supposed to be seeing. This is what they avoid at all costs. Because what happens is their screens will wash out and they will fade. See? If I display that color blue on a solid, it will come up exactly the same way. We're going to color swap out. So you can judge by the fake review, which he did, that you didn't do a very good job. We know exactly what you were leaning toward. Let's show that the black screen can produce contrast, but it can't produce color. It can't produce white levels. When our screens can do that, no, your screens can't produce color at all. They can't produce contrast. You can produce a slightly higher white level, but you should be to produce a slightly higher white level because your screen would be a little higher whiter than ours, much like the white Acoustic Elite screen over here. It's going to produce a slight higher white level. It's a white screen. It's going to produce a higher white level than your screen here and here because the screen is bone white. This basic common sense 101. LG 4K demonstrations.
Getting that from
We
YouTube.
haven't even touched the star field yet. Now see, if our image was so dark and we couldn't produce a white level, you wouldn't be able to see anything in that image at all. This is how we know 100% you faked your demonstrations. Sorry about that. And the sad part about it, people, he's been doing it with everybody. Not just me. It's not just me. Any screen he brings in there, he does a test against, he will figure out a way and choose select videos to try to make his screen look good. He's been doing this for years. For years. When he brought in the Dark Star 9, you didn't do that demonstration correctly. What you did when you did that demonstration, you chose videos that would blend well with your screen and that screen, and you did it in a very poorly lit environment. You should have displayed everything. As I'm doing with your screen right now and other screens that are much lighter than mine, I'm displaying nice, bright, colorful levels, which I should on a black screen. I'm displaying white levels. I'm displaying straight color levels. I'm displaying everything. I do my contrast levels last. And then your demonstration was so short and so fast. Yeah, you cut corners left and right. And then the product you had in the container, it's not even ours. Because if that was ours, we would get the same dark results that you had on your video on the same screen paint that we have here. See how we can't pick up red? See how the red is fading? That's why I show you the solid colors first. So how is it that we have your personal mix and your Metallica mix here, plus several other screens, certified screens here and here, and we're not getting the same dark image that you displayed in your video? That's because you used a black paint. It's sad when somebody actually just goes down that road that hard. They go that hard to try to disrupt someone's product. They go hard. That's sad. That's very sad.
Feeds us all. Hormel Natural Choice Lunch Meats.
Jimmy, I have over 5,000 video demonstrations on my products. I've done test demonstrations that even the top end screens don't even try. I do demonstrations on levels that no one else does. And you would think a review such as that would basically even scratch the surface of trying to damage our company's name. That's the equivalent of my company being a destroyer and you being a rowboat. You just run over you and just keep on going. My technology can back itself. Even my light gray screen paint can back itself, which, like I said, we displayed yesterday. It pulled the contrast level. And it didn't pull the darkest contrast level next to a black screen, but it pulled a contrast level, a black level that your screen couldn't even begin to even do. And it pulled better color. Where's that really dark image? See right there on the penguin? You can't even pick up the black back of the penguin. Where is that really dark, dirty image that you painted? I don't see it there at all. See, people, this is what I tell you. At the end of the day, it's sad when you have individuals that are that jealous that will do videos such like that. And like I said, we're not the only ones. He's been doing this for years to other people. I can say one thing about the other individual who did make that comment. Well, he did get shut down on that one. When he said that silver paint deluxe screen was equal to our technology, yeah, that was not a good idea. That was really not a good idea to make that consumption, because yeah, we really put that. I'm saying the technology for the screen is good, it is, but in no way in the world is that thing anywhere close to anything we make. So, you know, like I said, the product works if you're going against a white screen. All those products work, if you're going against a white screen. I don't know about this because that screen's literally white right there. But To say it's equal to our technology, no. To say it's better than our technology, no. We've already backed that. We proved that. That's why we have so many sample sheets, because we have to constantly do these tests all the time. But I don't know. I don't know whether he sees things and he forgets. Maybe he has short-term memory. I don't know. I don't get it at all, period. If I saw somebody do these tests already, why would I try to do a demonstration like that, knowing that this particular has these demonstrations done live? These are all live demonstrations. People are interesting. That's where I look at it. But that comes from a person who's so bent. When a person's so bent by jealousy and hatred, they overlook their own path. And they just do. They just overlook their own path. When you think I was going to, these are the demonstrations I have to do every day. I don't have to do them. I want to do them. I love, people see me on camera talking about, let's find some demonstrations, white roses, white wolves, just looking for white levels to display off the screen, looking for that. Online, you watch me jump online like, oh, we don't have these sample sheets. What about these sample sheets? Let's get these sample sheets, getting hyped up, getting excited to be able to challenge my own technology. You don't do that. You cut these corners, even with these big companies, and I know what they do, these poorly lit environments. I watched the demonstration on the acoustic screen right over here. My screen's acoustic. That's an acoustic elite screen. I watched their demonstration. I want to see what kind of environment they were using their screens and how much light the screens are being hit with. What kind of projectors are they using? Just to see exactly what I'm dealing with before I put the screen up there. And even if it was using a fully lit environment, that is a challenge for me, and I'm still going to throw it up against the screen. But you don't do that. And like I said, I saw when you did the Dark Star 9, that was the fakest demonstration I've ever seen. No challenge in there whatsoever. Dark Star 9 strong points are if the screen is very dark. That's why it's called Dark Star 9. It's the ability to be able to pull a very heavy contrast level, which is needed. And when you're watching movies and stuff like that, you need a very heavy contrast level. And that's what the Dark Star 9s are designed for, to pull that contrast level. I seen it when I did a demonstration with Dark Star 9 versus on a white screen versus other screens. The Dark Star 9 pulled the heaviest contrast level, the best star field. So you didn't even do anything like that. You didn't say, okay, we're gonna do this demonstration. Let's do some light colors first. Let's do some color shading, like some different color levels here. And then let's go do the star field demonstration, OLED demonstration, contrast demonstrations. You didn't even let the Dark Star 9 display what it was designed to do. You kept it out of that area because you knew if that Dark Star 9 displayed a star field demonstration that dark and your screen couldn't, it would have overshadowed your screen, and you can't have that. That's why you don't do fair demonstrations. Look at the woman's red dress right there. Like I said, that's why I showed them solid colors first. And then when you have the OLED display that comes up in black, you can't produce that. Now, as you see, I'm going through all bright colors.
Gatorade Zero. All the electrolytes. Zero sugar. Get more out of zero.
This is why my demonstrations may take a little longer, because I'm showing you everything, what you need to see, not just blowing through it with a bunch of colors. I'm showing you what you need to see. We're breaking it down, how it's supposed to be done. Oh, man, we're going to get these orders wrapped up and done for the day, get everybody's tracking numbers finished. And then I have two big projects. I got a couple big projects. Right now I'm working on a big project with a company. I can't say much about it. I'm not going to say anything about it. but it's something I'm working out with a company. You're going to see some pre-recorded videos. I'm not going to say much on the videos. They're test demonstrations. I need to do extreme distance throw. And a good thing I do have a Sony VPL FH36, which is going to be needed for this project because it has something called a narrow zoom lens that allows you to be able to shoot a long, narrow image down a pathway and still hit a screen at a distance. They're used for movie theaters setups. And I need to do something. I got to measure my driveway all the way to the back. I need about 30 feet. I think I got 30 feet. I got way more than 30 feet because I forgot about that. The 180 inch I built in the backyard from the gate is around 30 feet. So I might be able to get a good maybe 60, 70 feet out of this. And this is very important. This is a demonstration that has to be done because by me doing the distance on this, it allows me to calculate how many lumens they would need to go that distance. Because keep in mind, some people go overkill if they're building a setup like that. They can buy a projector that may have 50,000 lumens. They may buy a projector that has 60,000 lumens. You're talking about $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 projectors now. The price goes up. So if I can figure out that if I can get a 5,200 lumen projector to hit from my driveway all the way to the back of the backyard and still pull that image up, that means that we can basically calculate how many lumens it would need in order to be able to get the image to show properly. Whew. And that's one of the projects I'm working on right now. And that's with the company. So something we're building for them. We're literally building this thing. So it's going to be an interesting project. And when that project is built, our name is going to be plastered as credit everywhere at that particular facility. So guess what? You'll get a chance to see our technology on a whole nother level. I told you, once we start branching outside, we're going to start attracting contracts because we're going to be able to show the difference between why you don't want to go with the white screen and why you don't want to go with the gray screen. And this is not to say just his gray screen, even our own gray screen. I told you from the door, I really don't advise you going outside and using an ultralight gray or any of the other screen paints we make besides the black screens. The black screens are the best screens for outside. I'm going to show that demonstration today with an ultralight screen. I'm going to take that outside. Even though that screen can produce a contrast level, I'm going to show you why you want to go with a black screen outside. You need a 100% contrast level when you're playing with outside. You don't want to go with anything less, because anything less out there, even though my screen will maintain and do what it needs to do, you want the best picture possible. And that's why we choose black screens outside. If you notice any demonstration I've done, they're all black screens. We're going to do the test outside with other screens to show that the screen has a very powerful ambient light rejection. It proves this point by it has the ability to earn the level of the 17 or the 15 because it can pull that image outside. That's a test. But to watch a full-fledged movie outside, black screen is the way to go. That's why I like the Black Novas, because how dark they are. So I got to get myself an inflatable screen. Which is interesting too, because now I got that power supply downstairs, that generator. And I'm kind of curious, how long can I keep an inflatable screen inflated on the generator? Which should be kind of nice. I mean, anything you don't have to use power on, it's kind of nice. You got to agree. So if I throw a solar panel, well, you can only use a solar panel to a certain degree. So it's going to be nighttime, so that's definitely opt out. But how long would it last? So this is why I got to get both of them. I need the 1300 Delta and I need I have the 600 River, but I need the 1300 Delta so I can see how long that's going to last on an inflatable screen. I haven't seen any demonstrations like that. Well, dude did run a washing machine off of it, so, but then the washing machine's not going to run all day. This is why I like being outside. It's so much funner to be outside when you do demonstrations. It is so much funner. On top of that, it's not stuffy inside. Get to be outside, see this different scenery. Yeah, I like doing demonstrations outside. If I can get myself a good outer box for my projector, maybe, I mean a really good one, but I would have to put like a really crappy projector in there just to start, because I mean, like, I have to buy a cheap projector just to start because I'm not wrecking my new one. I need a waterproof outer box because I want to do a demonstration in the rain on our technology, but we have to have the projector out there. Oh no, we don't. Oh yeah, we do, because even under the deck, we can't even do it under the deck because water's going to shoot down under the deck. So yeah, don't ask me what that's for. Part I wanted to see, I wanted to go back on there. You can see where the color's not coming up correctly on her shirt. All that's not coming correctly with neither one of the screens. But I just find it so interesting, like I said, that the picture, like I said, that the individual had painted, that the image was going to come up so dark. This should be a nice, how he described, this should be so black that you can't see the detail here and here and here and here and here. You shouldn't be able to make out any one of the colors of this balloon, the nice sky blue background. None of that should be to be made out if the image was that dark. See? That's why I say you really got to stop doing fake demonstrations like that. You don't even, and I'm not trying to be rude here, but you don't even explain your videos properly to your customers. You don't tell them why it's reacting this way or why it's reacting that way. You don't do any of that at all, period. And mind you, I'm doing this on a cheap projector right there, which means we didn't have to buy an expensive, overpriced projector in order to produce beautiful colors. We don't have to calibrate, none of that nonsense at all, period. And I know for a fact that this company right here, Elite Screens, probably is using a very expensive projector when they display theirs. I guarantee you, all these companies right here are using very expensive projectors, much better than the one I'm using in my demonstration, including Crow. It's using a very expensive projector. So yeah, they all work together. They all use high-end, expensive projector, poorly lit environments, and in order to basically make their images look good. And then they'll go in and they'll calibrate their projectors. You must calibrate, you must calibrate. When we come in and we could do a demonstration next to a fully lit environment, windows open, cheap projector, no calibration needed. I think he always misses a point. This is why I have to explain it to him, because he misses a point. He'll go, well, my screen's doing just as good as yours. No, Crow, we're in this demonstration, we are displaying that. We're trying to see if your screen basically can make the image look dark like you showed in your review, which we did that yesterday on the Black Nova. We did that on the Magenta 135 in the next room. We also did that demonstration on the ultralight, on the ultralight, we did that demonstration, showed that gray screen paint versus gray screen paint. We can pull contrast level, you can't. We can pull color, you can't. That's what that demonstration was done. Let's go through this one. Notice I haven't even hit the contrast demonstrations yet. See how the screen is coming up tan on every single thing that pops up. When you did this demonstration, you were sitting in the dark. Those are black stones under her feet. Let me give you a little bit of chance here. Let me take these out right here. Those are black stones under her feet. See the detail on that screen? Those individual rocks. And then over here on your screen. Same thing with the acoustic screen right here by Elite. And we're doing acoustic screen versus acoustic screen with them. This is their acoustic screen right there. This is the difference, our technology versus their technology. There's Vivistorm right there. I'm going to color on the bench. Look at the purple. It's supposed to be a deep purple. Now, let's go someplace you can't go. Starfield demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
See, I saved this for last because I can display white levels, which I did. I've displayed colors, which I did. I've done abstract of beautiful colors, everything, like I did. Now, I get a chance to show off the technology's strong points, which means it can show its white levels, maintain a beautiful image, colors are not going to be dark, it's going to show a nice, bright, beautiful image. And we can also display our colors, which these screens can't, and we can do something they can't do. They can't display contrast on any level whatsoever. I should be doing, before we do this, let's do the LG demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
Before we go down that road, let's grab this one. There we go. Anybody watches an OLED demonstration knows that when OLED displays these demonstrations, the background is super jet black. The colors are really heightened. You can't pick up a contrast level. You won't be able to see the colors either. The problem is you do these demonstrations in the dark because it's the best way you have of camouflage in the screen. You know, these demonstrations are supposed to be done in fully lit environments. As a matter of fact, there we go. I changed out the lights. I put much brighter lights in. And you'll point out that, look, see, you can see how bright the contrast level is. No, that's gray. That's black. You're not even, people, when they look at this, they don't realize that you have to look at the background. Look at the background because OLED's backgrounds are jet black. This screen couldn't, we did the same demonstration on an ultra light screen downstairs. And like I said, it's not going to pull a contrast level that's going to be equal to a black nova. The black silvers can do that. They can mimic a contrast level that you can set it next to a black nova. You can tell one from the other. Platinum eclipse can do it too. They can mimic contrast levels that you can set it right next. You couldn't tell one from the other. Unless you laid it against it, then you would see the difference, but you couldn't tell. And here we are, and I'm showing you this demonstration on our ultra light gray screen paint that pulled a contrast level. It was able to do the Starfield demonstration. It did the New York City Nights screensaver. It did the OLED with the beta fish. It did the OLED with the horse. It did all the dark contrast demonstrations next to your screen, and it's light gray, and it pulled a way much better contrast level in order to make your screen look like it was faded. And then we did the color demonstrations back and forth to show the screen was producing much brighter, more vivid colors, darker, richer colors. There's no screen in the house you could match. We went from our lightest gray screen all the way up to the darkest screen we developed. And then we threw a purple screen in there just for fun. And the magenta, there's no way in the world. It's an exotic screen. Exotic screens are I hate to say it, they're untouchable screens. You're talking about a screen that's purple, that was bringing up some of the most beautiful colors. The reds, the blue, the purples. If you saw that demonstration with the girls having the water fight by the Lamborghinis, and that's no calibration needed. That's on old, outdated projectors. And these people have expensive, brand new, up-to-date model projectors, and you're calibrating.
Did you know the source of odor in your home could be all your soft surfaces? Febreze Fabric Refresher eliminates odors. Spray it on your rugs, your curtains.
You need to do more than worry about the Novas. You got to worry about the exotics. There's 15 of those things. You got to worry about the ultralight gray that pull the contrast level that beats your screen. The black silvers that we develop. The gold technology that we develop. And all the other crazy technologies that we had that you don't even know about that's coming out. The luminous. I haven't even put you against that technology yet. I told you, I could take a luminous screen, paint it on a piece of plexiglass, punch an image to the opposite side of the screen, put your screen on the other side with another projector, and basically produce contrast and white levels on rear projection versus your screen in front. And I'll give you the more powerful projector. The screen is not the hardest screen we test against. The hardest screen for us to test against would be that one right there, because that's a bone white screen. My screen's black, and that's a bone white screen, and that's one of the screens we had to test a signature against, was another white screen, because the majority of most acoustic screens are either white or silver. That's the only one that I found so far, which is Vivistorm, which I was really excited to get over here, was a screen that was basically darker than the usual acoustic screens that I see. And that's the one I was more excited about. This one right here, this is their white screen too. That's an acoustic screen too. So when we test out the signatures, we have to test the signatures against any screen that is acoustic. Doesn't make a difference if it's white, doesn't make a difference if it's silver or tan. It has to go against the screen because we have to see the difference. And all those test demonstrations that we do have to be done live, which means at any given time where we're doing these demonstrations, heck, this screen can outperform my screen right there with no problem. Give you a number of things that can pop up, but I'm not worried about it outperforming my screen at all, period. I need to see on my end where my screen stands. If it produces a better white level, then guess what? I need to see that. My customers need to see that. They need to see where the screen stands at. If I sit there and I camouflage and cut corners to try to make my screen look beautiful all the time, then there's going to be a problem there. So that's why when I have a customer that may complain about something, I can say, you can't honestly say I didn't show you, because and my demonstrations are all done live and I show you. Just like when I paint a fixed frame screen, the first thing I tell people, hey, look, when you're painting a fixed frame screen, some of them may have a protective coating, and I'll show you where the screen will actually start, this paint will start to separate, and you'll see these little white spots that'll pop up on the screen. I'm not going to hide that from you. I got to show you that, because if that happens to you, I can tell you, just put a light coating on it. Don't force it. Put a light coating on it and then apply it again. Because I went through that with the silver ticket, the 235.1 on the wall, did the exact same thing. The elite screen I had outside did the exact same thing. And by explaining this to them, when there's a problem may occur when using our screen paint, they know how to handle it, or they can call me directly and I can show them how to do it. Same thing when I do canvas screens. I explain to my customers, coated with about 1 or 2 quarts of paint or gallons of paint, so that way you can actually get the screen to absorb in as much paint as possible, so that way you have an even foundation to apply our screen paint. If I hide these things from my customers, there's going to be problems. Just like when you do all these poorly lit environments and you're cutting corners and you're not doing your demonstrations properly, you're hiding this information from your customers. That's why your screens do so badly when they come over here, is because my screens have to go through vigorous testing where your screens don't, and this is the reason why they show up better than yours. And the same thing goes with the big companies, because they do it too. It's not just him. They do it too. I watch their demonstrations. All pre-rehearsed environments. They control the lightings in their environment. They go and they choose the best projectors for that demonstration. They even pick out the best videos to display for that demonstration. Name one demonstration you've ever seen with one of those big companies where they're just swapping out and just doing multiple demonstrations and swapping out projectors, even using 720p projectors. They don't. They pick select videos that are going to look good for that particular display for that projector. It's all rehearsed. And the problem is that people like this do the exact same demonstrations. That's why when we bring you over here, your screens don't do well. Look, it's getting a little brighter outside. I was hoping we get more light, but we don't. Well, it's just bright enough. Because at the end of the day, I want to sit here. I want to be able to watch TV. I want my windows open. I want my fresh air coming through. I want to be able to sit across and see my squirrels and watch people play occasionally golf and scream and yell. They got their ball caught in the sand pit of doom. That's what I want. I want to be able to use my screen in a fully lit environment as it was intended to be used. This is not a home theater setup where I have, or movie theater setup. This is my ultra short throw setup. And usually with ultra short throw, as I said before, that you don't see. Tell me the next time you see somebody where they have a dedicated theater room setup and there's an ultra short throw sitting in the middle of the screen. It's never set up that way. The projector's sitting behind them. It's hidden or sitting behind them. It's set up. Usually when you see ultra short throws, this is set up for an environment for your living room or your lounge or someplace you're going to have a lot of people at. Hopefully not. They're all COVID safe. And you're going to have a well-lit environment where your wife can sit and read a book, or your kids can do this and that. And you can sit there and watch the game or a TV show. And that's how it's set up. And you got a P2 projector and you sit in the dark. Your room, I hate not to be rude and disrespectful, but your environment where your P2 sits at looks like the theater room that I got set up in my room for my 235.1. And then you'll have some people saying, well, Ken, your theater room has a 235.1 and you have an ultra short throw in there, because that screen is a 235.1. Exactly, yes. You have to have a certain projector to run that room. And if you look at my room, it was never set up for a theater room setup. You have to have a distance for a theater room setup. Unfortunately, when I got my house over here, the only room that I had that I can actually put a theater room in, like a somewhat theater room, was the dining room. And that was a dining room area. That's why behind that screen, there's a large bay window. I love when people used to come in and make that comment saying, well, you have a 235 in there in that room and so and so and so. You got to think before you talk, because if you look at the room, it's really small. I've had 3 projectors in there. I had an Optima GT 5500, had an ultra short throw Chrissy in there, and I had 4 projectors in that room. I had an ultra short throw short throw ViewSonic. I had a short throw Chrissy, and I had an Optima GT 5500 in that room. Because that room can only fit 2 things, short throw and ultra short throw, because the distance in that room isn't far enough away from the screen. So that's the only room that I literally, when I first moved here, could have a theater room in. Now, if you're looking at the tech room, the tech room has 18 feet back. I don't have ultra short throw in there. I have a long throw Chrissy in that room right there. And here, I don't have much room, so we have ultra short throw. Kitchen, we have ultra short throw. Downstairs in the lounge, I did have long throws in there, because from the lounge to the back area where my table's at, that's about 18 feet right there. My lounge is pretty big. But keep in mind, as I'm sitting down, that is my lounge area. It's not set up for a movie theater. It's set up. So every time I would get up from my chair, I would get hit in the face with 5,300 lumens. And I sure enough wasn't drilling holes into my ceiling for a heavy projector. That wasn't going to happen. So the ultra short though fit perfectly in that section right there for that screen. Oh, by the way, these projectors right here are only designed to do an 80-inch screen. Just want to let you know. Next time somebody tells you that, you know, you buy a projector, you have to buy one of those, I don't like to call them Chinese cheap knockoff projectors. But, you know, the knockoff projectors that claim to do 150 inches and people lean toward that because they can get a 150-inch screen. If you have the right and proper screen, you can get a pretty good sized screen out of your projector. My projector downstairs, which is the ViewSonic Ultra Short Throw, is designed to only do 100 inches. That's it. If you go to projectorcentral.com, you look at my projector, it only does 100 inches. My screen downstairs is 138 inch 235.1. And that image comes up crystal clear on that screen. The projector downstairs in the living room, that cost me $59. That projector is only supposed to do 80 inches. This is supposed to do 80 inches. That's it. This is about an 80-inch screen right now. And the screen I have downstairs is 126-inch borderless Elite screen downstairs. So, yeah, that's not true. They said that, the reason why they said that is because a lot of these projectors were being displayed on white screens. And if a white screen's already having a problem with color, and it's already having a problem with being able to produce contrast, and you know, everyday lighting's going to wash it out, they're going to suggest you to use a smaller screen size, because that means this image is going to be closer to the screen. The pixels are going to be tighter. You're going to get a more sharper, more vivid image. And that's why they advise you to use this particular size. As you start to expand it, that means bottom line is your pixels are going to expand, your picture is going to deteriorate, your color is going to deteriorate, contrast is going to deteriorate, more light is going to have contact with the screen, and your image is going to look distorted. They're not using our technology. Our technology, we don't have that problem. Oh, let's not forget our Starfield demonstration. Well, we still got more contrast demonstrations to go through. Let's go with Starfield demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
Now, as I explained to this particular individual who likes to cut these corners, like I said, I read your demonstration a mile away. Like I said, you displayed that black paint or whatever that mess was on that sample sheet you did, and you showed off the Starfield demonstration saying, look, this is this product. I can go to Home Depot, I can buy black paint, black bed sheets, whatever. Any one of those are going to basically produce a Starfield demonstration. The problem is the fact that black paint can't produce a white level because there's nothing in there to produce a white level at all whatsoever. And then by taking that black paint and putting it up against your screen and showing off different colors and bright colors and trying to show how dark the other screen would come off, pretty much you were trying to give off the information as saying that, look, it produces the contrast levels, but the white levels don't come up all that well. Again, either you've been under a rock somewhere, or at least you have some form of, your memory doesn't function right. Because when we displayed the Black Novas when they first came out, the first thing we did was we went through the grinder, which means we do all the tests. Which means when you were doing that review, that screen had already done all its tests live. And then one of the tests it had to go through was an 18 certified screen, which means some of the screens that were laying up against that screen were far lighter than that screen, and some were actually white. So how's your Cinemax going to surpass an 18 screen certified when you haven't even done that demonstration to begin with? I would like to see that one too, because Darkstar 9 went through it. Then we did a demonstration using projector swap out, showing that it wasn't the high gain of a projector's lumen count to make the screen look bright. We swapped out from 43 all the way down to 1,000. We did the 22 feet back. We did the 130 in the middle of the screen. We did the outside demonstration at 1,000 lumens, 13 feet back. If that screen pulled an image that dark, it would have never showed up outside at all, period, on 1,000 lumens. It would have never been able to display an image at 22 feet back on 1,000 lumens with a 130 in the middle of the screen. 130 is a 130 watt lamp in the middle of the screen. That would be virtually impossible. if the image was that dark. This is why I said that you don't think correctly. Let's just to give him something to think about. Because like I said, I don't know if he wakes up and if he has groundhog, maybe he has groundhog syndrome. I don't know. But if a black screen is going to pull an image at 22 feet with a 130 in the middle of the screen, how is it possible it's not going to be able to pull up an image with a P2 sitting right up on top of the screen? Yeah. Like I said, you got to stop doing these fake demonstrations. Now, this is your product. We bought it. And this is how it displays off our screen. And as I said before, we don't do any, if I'm reviewing your product, I don't do any fake demonstrations. It is what it is. We have projector, we have screen, we have windows. We've done this on long throw, we've done this on short throw, we've done it on everything. We did it on white levels, we've done it on snow levels, we've done, I'm about to use it, I'm about to sound like Dr. Seuss right now. We've done this on contrast levels, we did this on color patterns, everything. Everything that my screen paints have to go through, you just went through. We even went outside with a Black Nova. New York City, nighttime screensaver.
Getting that from YouTube.
I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. I do not like them on a boat. I do not like them with the goat. I know that sounded familiar. Now, the last thing I want to do, like I said, we have to start doing these demonstrations for our black screens outside. I got companies over in California, California, and Florida over there that are going to be doing a lot of outside dining and stuff like that. They want to be able to get their customers outside, you know what I mean? Of course, you know, in that area it's warm all the time, but you know, that's what people want. And then you have some of the areas that now that are starting to get the warmer seasons, they want to be outside. And they're trying to figure out exactly what screen is going to work for them the best. And right now from the campaign we're going to be pushing, black technology is the best way to go outside. And we're going to back that up 100%. You're going to be seeing a slew of demonstrations of us going against other white high performance screens. We're going to be doing demonstrations against gray screen paints. Sorry, Crow, but you have to be added into this because we don't want you going out there and doing foolish and fake demonstrations by saying our screens don't pull up outside. So we got to add you into those demonstrations. And the last thing I want to do, and this is what I'm not going to do to you because like I said, it could blend into your screen and that could cause you some significant damage. I have to test out gray primers. And it's a demonstration that has to be done. We're just going to do you a little favor and we're not going to stick your screen next to that gray primer and fear that it may match. So I'm kind of doing you a favor here. Because after the review you just did, I could easily do that to you right now and that pretty much could damage your product just like that because I can show that it could probably be the same thing. But I'm not going to do that because that wouldn't be Christian-like. My campaign for my demonstration for outdoor screens is to be able to display why black screens are superior outside and inside, of course. To show you that we can pull up images that other screens can't. And we have to be able to display this against whatever the customer may choose to use. He may choose to use gray primer. I mean, if I paint the screen gray, then other than white, what results we're going to get, we have to show that no, that's a bad idea, that's not going to work. But also too, we know because you don't know how to do reviews properly and correctly without cheating and cutting corners, we're going to take your product out there with the Black Nova at nighttime on a 5200 lumen projector, plenty of power to show the difference of why black screens are more superior. It's not to put your product down in any way, it's just to show the difference. And as I said before, I have to use gray primer because I also have to show other gray materials also too. Now I can't take any of the high performance screens that I have in my selection because none of them are designed for outdoor use. He'll probably start talking about that one in his next video, talking about that's not fair because my screen paint's not designed for outdoors. Just like when you talk about it's not fair because your screen paint's not ambient light rejection and we have too much light in our environment. Why are you challenging an ambient light rejection screen to begin with? It doesn't make any sense. So I had to do the whole Jackie Chan, the behind camera. So, but look on the bright side. At least I'm not going to paint the screen with gray primer and then stick your screen against that and then stick that against the black Nova, because that, like I said, that may not come out too well. I already know how your product's made. You had a demonstration showing people how to make it. And then you deleted the video. That doesn't look good. Which means because of the video, we never ever have to buy the personal mix ever again. We can make gallons of it because it matched correctly. And this one right here isn't too far off from that one. It's only slightly a little darker by a little bit. So if it took about, and like I said, I'm not putting this information out there, but like I said, there's a video of it. We have the video. And in the video shows you how to make this product. Now the video's been deleted. But like I said, in that ingredients to make it, and that's supposed to be in the video was a Metallica, it was a Metallica screen paint. That's what it was. And it matched the personal mix perfectly. Now you made it a little bit darker. This is the one we bought. So I'm pretty sure that if this was actually 3 tablespoons, that's probably either 2. No, let me be quiet here. But yeah, we know what it is. Your product is just made by, can't say that either. Nope, because that'd be wrong. Can't say that either. Y'all have to figure it out for yourself. But as you can see, it's not much of a difference between the 2 screens. It isn't. One's just slightly a little darker. That's all. Now what I should do today, I'm going to show you the difference when I talk about when someone's making a product. It's kind of like the, and I hate to put it this way, and I'm not trying to slander you, man, but your product's kind of like the scenario of the red wagon. Somebody takes a wagon, they sell it to somebody, they jump over their backyard, they steal it, they paint it a different color, and they sell it to somebody else. In your case, they paint it a slightly lighter shade or slightly darker shade than the original wagon. And that's what it kind of looks like when it comes to your product here. This is one slightly off. You know the difference between a black silver and an ultralight gray? There's a huge difference. The black silvers are actually darker. Now they're not darker than a platinum eclipse. Platinum eclipse are super dark screens. We'll do that today. I'm going to do a demonstration of the black silver. But once I get my orders out the door, we get them all wrapped up and get the table filled. I'm going to do a demonstration with the black silver next to the ultralight, so you can see the difference between the 2. So you don't run into this right there, because like I said, it isn't much of a difference at all. Color blue.
Getting that from YouTube.
See what I mean? Even with the color blue, not much of a difference right there and there. There's much of a difference. One's not produced. I can see if it's producing a very, very dark blue, and this was showing up, but not much of a difference at all, period. It's just a slightly darker color. Slightly darker, not by much. This right here, he shows a slight little difference to a white screen. So if I take this off and I put this over here, this is the white acoustic. Put that right there. See, I told you, he shows a slight difference. Better than a white screen, but as I said before, you still aren't getting much. This is the color blue. This screen's black and it's producing blue. That didn't actually stay too well, did it not? So it's not much of a difference. Honestly, to tell you the truth. Well, it's time to wrap this up anyway, because I got to get to work. But it's not much of a difference. And that's why I sat there and said on camera multiple times. Even by looking at the color of the screen, it's not much of a difference. It really isn't. It's slightly off just by a little bit. There's no huge, massive difference. Where if you look at the black screen, you see a massive difference. You see a deep blue. And these screens are just basically like, it's like the equivalence of painting your house with watercolor versus painting your house with an actual rich paint. And that's what it is. It kind of looks like the screens are splashed with watercolors. Light faded screen. $8K.
Getting that from YouTube.
Somebody got a new bike. $8K.
Getting that from YouTube.
See? This is how your screen's supposed to look. Not washed out, not faded. That's how it's supposed to look. Just like you're watching real TV. Get your windows open. Like I said, I can do something they can't do in their videos. I can look outside my window. And I can look at my screen. Alright, people. That being said, I told you that this morning, we went to sleep last night. When I got up, I finished that demonstration. This morning, I told you when I got up that I was going to do the demonstration again when we got up in the morning. Because for me, you know, doing that demonstration, don't act right. Doing that demonstration, trying to get my charger out. Doing that demonstration with the without having that window light pouring through, it's just not a challenge at all for me. It just isn't a challenge. I like to have that window light pushing in and making direct contact with the screen. That's what I like. All right, with that being said, I got to get to work. Thank you for your time. I have to go, and God bless.